Hey everybody, welcome to the Paper Dinosaur Project. My name is Jordy and this is a vlog. First things first, you may be able to tell, but you might not because it's not that short, but I did shave the side of my head recently, or rather, I got my best friend to shave the side of my head recently, so that was really cool. I really love it. I also flipped it over this way, so if I want to have it back to normal, I can just flip it over this side. Just like that. Doesn't it look perfect? Anyway, that's really cool and I love it. Also, I'm back at school, as you can see by my room behind me and how things are in London. I don't actually know if I've ever filmed a video in this room, or at least not at my desk in this room. I don't think I have, because I've been really horrible and awful and kept not doing anything for this channel for the longest time. Some other new things, I got a new job recently. I don't know if I ever talked about my old job here, but I was really not being treated well at all. So I finally left my old job, which was actually really sad because I did really love what I was doing, but the administration of it was so awful. I couldn't stay there anymore. It was horrible. But so now I have a new job, which is already promising to be better, which is great. Another new thing, I got a new tattoo! About a year ago, I think, I posted a video about my first tattoo and the experience through getting that and everything. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But now I have a second tattoo. I wore shorts today for this exact purpose, but here it is right here. Obviously. It's the phases of the moon because I really love the moon and I really love space, and also just because you can always change and still be you. This is really awkward to like do this at this angle here. I'm gonna come down. So it is the phases of the moon because I've changed a lot in the past few years since I've come to college, and I'm happier than I think I've ever been, and I feel like I'm finally starting to come into me. I don't know who I am, but I feel like I'm getting closer. And that's great. Getting the new tattoo. So to start the whole thing off, it was freezing rain that morning, which whatever, that I didn't care. But I wore shorts because I was getting a tattoo on my mid-thigh, and I thought, oh hey, you know, maybe I should make sure that whoever's gonna tattoo my body has access to the place they're tattooing it without me having to take my pants off in the middle of the tattoo parlor. So I come downstairs and I go into the kitchen to get some breakfast, and my mom's there making coffee, and she says, "You know it's freezing rain out, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm aware." And she says, "Okay." And then I walk into the living room and my dad's sitting there and he says, "You're gonna be cold." And I say, "Yes, I know, it's fine." And he says, "Okay." Then we go to the tattoo parlor, me and my dad, because I can't drive. And I sit down in the chair and the guy's like, "Aren't you cold?" "Yes, it's fine. Let's do this thing, okay?" He was like, "Okay." So everything was going great right from the start. Then he starts on the tattoo and he starts outlining the first couple moons, and I am immediately just fucking stunned to silence by how much it hurts. Like this hurt like a bitch, but not as bad as this did. Like, I had no problems with this one. This was totally fine. This one caused me so many problems. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever experienced something so painful. And I have gotten 16-foot steel pipes dropped directly on my fingers. Actually, very recently to me getting this tattoo did that happen, and this was still significantly worse. He was like halfway through the second moon outline when I started like feeling a little lightheaded, and then by the time he was like maybe an eighth of the way through outlining the third moon, I was starting to lose vision. So my dad was there for moral support. I didn't tell him I can't see, like through the weakness of my inability to speak or hold my body up or really feel anything other than excruciating pain. So the guy stopped, and the woman at the desk didn't even say anything, didn't, you know, nothing, just went straight into the back room and comes out with one of those freeze pops that like you had like a million of in your freezer, that was just a plastic tube full of frozen juice and sugar. And she hands that one to me, and the guy goes and grabs like a soda from the fridge or whatever. Like, because they just have these things for these exact sorts of circumstances. So I'm just sitting there eating a fucking freeze pop with my dad in a tattoo parlor. And the guy's talking about, like, you know, usually it's like the big, like, burly men that come in and that sort of thing happens. But, like, it happens all the time, I guess, and they're just prepared for it. So after a while, once I've built up a little more strength, he starts again. And by the time he gets to the end of outlining the moons, I started crying because, like, I wanted him to finish. I wanted to have the tattoo finished, but I didn't want him to keep going because I was in so much pain. And so I was sitting there crying with my dad in a tattoo parlor. And the two of them were talking to me, and they sort of, you know, convinced me that you want these finished. That's what's gonna make you happy, you know. If you walk out with these just outlined, you're not coming back. And if you did, then you'd be in the situation where you had to, like, pay twice as much, whatever. Like, it would suck. So I had him finish it, and I'm really glad they convinced me to do that because, oh my god, am I so much happier with it filled in than I would have been if it wasn't. But the whole thing was just awful. Because, like, once I almost passed out, I started having an anxiety attack, which then amplified the already horrible pain I was experiencing, which then made my anxiety get worse, and everything just snowballed, and the whole thing was horrible. But I really love the tattoo, and I'm really glad I did it. And then I'm gonna cut this video here. Be on the lookout for more vlogs, more Let's Plays. I'm gonna keep going with the Disney Princess playthrough, and I'm also gonna play a bunch of different games, maybe sometimes with some different people, because I've got friends that also like video games that live quite nearby. They're like right over there, it's great. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see y'all later. Like rescinding into some sort of disheveled 80s punk, and I'm living for it.